Hi there, Solar Sparrow here. I'm starting this ride at 118 miles. So I figured I'd give you my opinion of how well this bike does. I find that it is agile enough to avoid potholes and I guess you could call it washboard on dirt roads. So it does okay on that. It's quick enough that if I need help going around a blind corner, it's there for me. And lastly, since I live in the Northwest Hills of Connecticut, it's great. Has a lot of strength to get up our hills. And some of our hills are pretty darn steep. So that way the bike makes a great overall bike. This bike comes where you can set it at either torque or cadence sensor. I ride in torque, which supposedly makes it feel more like a real bike. Morning. I have not tried the cadence sensor yet. Probably in another 100 miles or so, I'll probably try it. This is a quick little corner steep hill. We have a nice weekend. It's supposed to rain all next week, so get our rides in when we can. I believe this is part of the WNEG trail, which goes from New York City maybe all the way to the Canadian border. I try to ride this on the flats in the eco setting. My knee's been giving me a little bit of issue, meaning pain, so I have gone up to the tour level quite a bit past couple of rides. You probably can see some of the storm damage we've had. The trees all came down and a lot of people lost power and Wi-Fi for about 5 days around here. With this bike, I usually get uncomfortable getting 35 miles, which for me is 2 trips, since I ride usually 15 to 18 miles a trip. And with our elevation climb, we use a little extra power. That's the reason we have e-bikes in the northwest corner, so we don't have to struggle up hills. Trail, I'll get more mileage out of it, but I never really go over 40 miles anyway, so I think I'll be fine with this bike for most of my distances. This is a nice little route that if I want to go along the river to West Cornwall and see the covered bridge, this is where I would go. I got accessories when I got this bike, one being the front basket, which I love having for my errands. The second is the cafe lock, which also helps me on my errands because I can lock it for a quick run into the grocery store or market. The third thing I got is this nice, comfortable lazy bird seat, they call it, with a little extra padding. And that helps a lot, especially since this bike does not have front suspension. The other thing I got is a side mirror, which I would not be able to ride a bike without one. I always need to see a car coming up behind me. Not sure why, but that way I know I move over as far as I can, feel a little bit safer. The bike comes with front and rear light, which I set on flashing because I figured, well, something that's moving might be easier for the cars to see. And especially in shady areas, it's amazing how you can't be seen unless you have a light. So kudos for Euphree for adding the light to the bikes. They're great. Okay, a little bit more here, going up another hill. They're all slight hills. On this road, nothing too steep. Makes it pretty comfortable. This is a weekend ride, so we do have a little bit more traffic because I'm only a couple hours from the city, and we have a lot of what we refer to as weekenders. They have their second home here, show up Friday night, leave late Sunday usually. Summertime, they'll end up staying most the summer. This also is part of the Appalachian Trail. It crosses Route 7, heads down this trail, or this road, to a little side trail that takes you up and around the falls. And I'll show you, this is our high school, which actually is voted as one of the prettiest schools in Connecticut. There it is. Freshly moved on. It's actually doing okay, the bike. Pedaling through this didn't make me change anything as far as power to get through, which is good. You get to feel what it's like on the road, dirt road, okay. This is the VOAG section of the school, and the kids all paint their little parking lot spots. Some of them are kind of cute. They sell Christmas trees here, and they do a lot of plants in the spring. Pretty cool. Come around. Let's see if you can get a view of the big greenhouse. I used to do a horse show when I was much younger that benefited the VOAG. It was nice. Okay, this is our one crossing we have in Falls Village to get to West Cornwall. It's nice, it has a crossing, and this is where, in my opinion, I would never own a bike without a throttle. Oh, I have the green light, yay. Thank you. Alrighty, we'll go down this road a little bit. Probably just go to where it turns to dirt and turn around. on these back roads, I'm still averaging right around 15 miles an hour because it's comfortable. Dirt roads seems to be the better number. So you don't bounce too much. I got a car coming. This man here is a friend of ours, and he does a free vegetable stand for all his extras. We have the same thing at our library called an abundance stand. And townspeople or folks, whatever you want to refer to them as, when they have extra veggies, they leave them out. I'm waiting for all the zucchinis to show up. We had a tornado come through here, I want to say 5 years ago maybe. Sort of took down a few of the trees. You do get some pretty unusual weather in the mountains here. I guess maybe they get stuck in here. We had one lots of years ago that took down Mohawk ski area. Okay, here we come into a railroad crossing. We stand up. Very slow, not bad. Here we're doing affordable housing complex. Not sure how that'll affect this nice little quiet road. Probably not in a good way. Because right now nobody travels this road. Okay, we're going to have a little steep hill here. You probably can see it coming up. We have had bears around our neck of the woods that are getting into trash. There's a neighborhood one that lives in West Cornwall that's always around. I have one at my house, a mama and 4 cubs that come down an old cross-country ski trail from Battle Hill Mountain and goes into town, checks out the neighborhood trash, and goes home. Everybody's getting a little bit better on locking up their trash because it's really not fun cleaning it up. And already, how far have I gone so far? About 4 miles. The other thing about this bike that's really nice is that it's a lot lighter than the City Robin. So it makes it easier for me to put on the back of the car and go to rail trails. And because rail trails generally are pretty smooth, the worst part really is on the paved ones with the roots. Other than that, they're pretty nice. So it makes a good bike for that. I always go out with a full charge battery when I do a rail trail because generally it's 30 miles and I might decide, I want to go a little bit farther because I ride the Harlem Valley Rail Trail a lot and I get on in the middle of it. So up and back is 25 miles, but if I decide I want to go even farther, because Millerton is the midway point, I will be able to. I doubt this bike would do the entire trail up and back because that's almost 50 miles. And I would worry the whole way whether or not I'd make it back and I'm spoiled that I need my electricity. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is going to turn to road, dirt road, I should say. Becomes a little bumpier, but it's pretty. Here we go. Let's slow down for the transition. We'll go maybe a mile and turn around. I want to go into town today on this ride because it's always things are going on. We have a book sale at the library, a couple other things that I like to see. And again, I'm going pretty slow. I'm only going 7-8 miles an hour because this section is pretty bumpy and it got washed out last weekend. And that was a big bump. Okay. I can see me now getting a little carried away and keep on biking. They have a nice farmer's market in West Cornwall on Saturdays, but I do like to go and get some jellies or bread. Jellies make a really nice pastry. They're Danish, adding a little cream cheese to it, and I like making my own. Whoop, we got some bumps here, the shadows. Okay, we have a rail trail that this runs along. It's for freight only. We don't have any that passenger. They keep saying they want to
Time 28 minutes 6 seconds. Total distance 5.0 miles. Average speed 10.7 miles per hour. Split speed 10.7 miles per hour.
Misinterrupt this. Anyway, back to the train. So the tracks, you have to cross them probably 5-6 times on this road, which kind of makes it not as much fun because they're so darn bouncy. Either that or you got to go really slow, and sometimes that's not my best trait when I bike. I'm going through one more crossing here. Not so bad. This leads to a bike shop called the Covered Bridge Electric Bike, and I have bought several City Robins from them. And the City Robin is a great bike. It has front suspension, and you get to sit very upright, which I really like. With this bike, I adjusted the handlebars about 3 times to get them more upright. Kept going higher and higher because I have a bad back from many years of standing on a cement floor, and I think riding horses didn't help it much. And because it's lower back pain, I can't ride a horse anymore. I tried this past fall and I was in pain just walking the darn thing. So I'll stick to the bikes. And that's one reason I think I love the Euphree brand, because they're really focusing on comfort when you ride. And when you get to the retirement age, comfort is a good thing. Now you can wake up in the morning with a new ache. You're like, what did I do? So, since I ride, we're starting to almost ride every day unless the weather prohibits me from riding because I'm a fair weather rider, let's put it that way. I'm not like, oh, it doesn't matter, rain, you know. Horses I did rain or shine. And wow, the river is really, really high on my right. See if I have a little clearing up here. Can't remember the keys. Go a little slower because we're in the bumpy section. I'll go to the next railroad track crossing and turn around and stop my recording. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you about this bike. Oh, the other thing is the colors. The colors that Euphree picks out for their bikes. They're just so pretty, so gorgeous. It's like high-end. They're amazing. And in person, they're just more gorgeous. You can't even do justice for seeing what it looks like online. This bike that I'm riding now is the Riviera Blue. And it's got a little bit of a sparkle, and it's a nice bright blue, which I like because you can see it. That's the one thing that kind of important. You don't want to be hidden away. I think that's why with the City Robin, I like the new red color the best, because it's so darn bright. It's like, see me, please. No, hidden in the shadows. The Solar Sparrow also has this gorgeous purple color, violet color, which is just an amazing color. So if you get a chance, go check them out at a store because I can't say enough as to how pretty they are. All right, well, last one little look at the river, and then I'm going to shut you on down.